Welcome to Little Seeds. I'm Joanie, and I'm your host. The Sunday school song that I'm exploring today is a song that not many people know. I have asked many of my friends if they know this one, and they don't know it. So I hope that I'm teaching them and you all a new song today. Now, I learned this song as a kid. It is one of my dad's favorites. If we were traveling on Sunday, and we had to do the breaking of bread with just our family, my dad would always suggest we sing the song. We didn't need to know the words. We could look them up in the Bible and sing right out of the Psalms, just like many other songs that we get to do this with. And once you know the tune, it is simple and it is easy to remember. So let's take a look at Psalm 19, verses 7 through 11, and I'm also going to read verse 14. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them your servant is warned, and in keeping them there is a great reward. Now, verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. King David wrote the Psalms. We know that he had a hard and difficult life, but he found encouragement from God. When he prayed and followed God's ways, his life was better. He found a way to share his love, his struggles, and his why he keeps going. With writing the Psalms, we get to learn so much from King David. We see in the Psalm words like law, testimony, statutes, commandment, fear, judgment. Those are big words that can be confusing and hard to understand, and maybe we don't even want to use those words. They might be scary to even hear. But interestingly, each word is connected with words that are beautiful, like the word perfect, but converting your soul, sure, simple, right, clean, forever, rejoicing the heart. We can understand those words a lot better than the other ones. Why are these bigger, hard to understand words put together with words that make us feel happy and that we can understand? Think of the phrase, the law is perfect, converting the soul, or the fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. I think those words are put together to help us understand what King David is talking about. Now, I don't have the time to go through each one of the phrases that I just read, but I want to bring out a few great points that we see here in this psalm. What do you think of when you hear the word law? Do you think of rules that tell you what is right and wrong? The word law here doesn't just refer to laws, but the teachings and the understanding of them. The word law in Hebrew is the word Torah, which refers to the first 5 books of the Old Testament. So when you hear someone say, I read from the Torah, they're saying they read from Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Now, in those 5 books of the Bible, we get the laws that God gave to the Israelites through Moses, and we get the stories of how God showed himself to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. We have the accounts of how God saved his people, like Noah and the flood, and the Israelites out of Egypt. The Torah isn't just laws, it's learning about God, what he wants from us, and how we can achieve his gifts. So Psalm 19 says, the law of the Lord is perfect for converting the soul. It's talking about the Torah is perfect, is sufficient or good for all of our needs, and it should be effective enough to convert, which just means to change us. God's law gives us everything that we need it to, guidance for our life in every situation that we come upon. Not only is his law or the Torah complete, But when we read it and understand it, it should change who we are on the inside. The wonderful benefits that flow from God's statutes are not only with our inner happiness and what goes on inside of us, but we see here that there is a warning that goes along with them. It says, "Moreover, by them your servant is warned, and in keeping them there is a great reward." Would we be warned against what? Well, imagine what it would be like to travel down the road without any signs. What if there wasn't a speed limit sign or warnings about icy bridges, or that there's a dangerous curve ahead and we should slow down? Or what if there wasn't a sign to tell us it's a one-way road and we're going the wrong way? I don't think I'd ever want to go anywhere in my car. It'd be scary. Would I make it to my destination? We need all those signs to help us to get to where we need to go. Well, God's statutes, His laws, His commands, His words not only guide us safely through all the world's dangers, but when we keep them, there is a great reward. We get to the destination. Our souls become refreshed, and we have joy in our hearts. We have light to our eyes if we endure them forever. Now, it is not the one who just hears about these words or just reads them or thinks about them who gets the reward, but it is the people who keep them, who follow these signs. Now, it's just not a regular reward. It says there's a great reward. God's rewards are incredible, which no human eye has seen or ear has heard. Things so wonderful and marvelous, man cannot even comprehend. We cannot even think about these things. But we know that they're there for us. These verses are a call for us to learn and understand God's laws, to testify on His behalf, to keep His commands, to tell others about Him. The spiritual riches contained in the Word of God are superior to material wealth. They alone bring genuine happiness and lasting satisfaction. God's commands are pure. They direct our lives out of darkness and into the light of God. Otherwise, we would be stumbling along in darkness. As we read in Psalm 119, verse 105, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path." God's declarations about what is right and wrong are reliable and trustworthy. You can build your life on all the divine standards of the Scriptures. Now, David ends this section by stating the immeasurable value of the Word of God. As we feed on God's truth, we discover that our innards are satisfied and delighted. It's like having that sweet taste of honey always on our mouth. And when we dig into God's truth, we find that we are mining pure gold. The Bible enriches those who engage in learning it. The Word of God will give us all the information we need to enable us to proceed correctly in the direction we should go. Now, when you take the time to explore the Torah, the law, and God's commands, you see that the laws, they're not overly complicated. They shouldn't be these big, scary things that we need to feel like we need to stay away from. They're not too hard, and they're not harmful to us in any way. When obeyed, God's ways give us inner happiness, which flows from a clean heart and the knowledge that we are doing the things God has instructed. Now, we are at my favorite part of the psalm, talking about gold and honey. God's ways are to be more desired than gold. They are better than the honey that drips off the honeycomb. Why? Because God's ways are better than all the gold in the world. You can have rooms full of gold. That can make you happy. You can look at it. You can buy whatever you want. You can have everything that your heart desires, but you will still be missing out. Honey is delicious. I love honey. I could probably eat honey with every single meal, but eventually I might feel sick from it. It becomes too much. But unlike honey, you can never have too much sweet joy that comes from being faithful to God's words. King David ends the psalm with a prayer. Verse 14 says, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Now, as I stated before, we know that King David's life was not easy. He could have easily given up, but he didn't. He keeps praying and doing his best to allow God to guide his life. God helped David to overcome all the obstacles that he faced. David realized that it was important that his thoughts and prayers reflect the truth of God, and he wrote them down for us to read. So when you pray and sing the song, I pray that God will speak to you in a marvelous way, that you desire his commands more than gold, and that you find happiness that tastes sweeter than honey in following his ways. Thank you.
righteous altogether, more to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey, and the honeycomb. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be accepted